We are assembled here today to honor those who fought and died on these surrounding battlefields. I have been asked as Chief Executive of the nation to formally set apart these grounds to their sacred use by a few appropriate remarks. Standing here before you, many thoughts travel through my mind, and gazing out over the rolling hills, the gentle valleys, the grasses blowing in the breeze, I can see the markers, the mounds of earth, the wooden boxes. Can there be an explanation for such a scene? Can there be comfort for all the sorrow? Can there be an answer to the many questions? What do you tell a mother to ease the pain of her son not coming home? What words do you use for a wife whose husband won't be returning to her? How do you explain to a young child that her father won't be there to see her grow? How do you relate that it was for the right reason? It was for freedom. It was to preserve the Union. What words do you utter? What letters do you write? What address do you speak? 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We're met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Thank you.